Terry Cook in the Atlantic Company Dodge. They have struggled to make races, and a 21.75 on lap 1, going to be the quickest of 2 laps for the former star of the Camping World Truck Series. So Stremme is first and Cook is second in knockout qualifying so far.
Yeah, I mean, my first intuition would be that a 70 is not very good, but when I look at our go or go home guys in the final practice session, the fastest was Joe Nemechek of all the cars, and he was only 25th quickest as far as all the competitors. So don't know that those are bad times just yet for these guys.
Joe Nemechek won this race from the outside pole 7 years ago.
I think he was driving the 25 car.
Correct.
For Rick Henry.
That's right. 6 top 10 starts here, including that outside pole start. Joe has made every race in 2010. He's 39th in the Sprint Cup standings. First lap better than Stremme or Cook with a 72.
I think you'll see Joe pick it up quite a bit on lap 2. He was by far the fastest of the go-go homers. In fact, he's flirting with a top 10 run right now.
I'd say more like top 5 here, Larry.
Oh boy, you saw a glimpse of front row Joe going into turn number 3, but he ends up 11th. Strong effort for a car that did not put on a lot of laps in practice. 21.45, 11th.
Yeah, he drove it in so hard into turn 3, the car actually washed up the racetrack, and I think he just really started losing traction on the exit of the corner.
When you do that, you know you can't wait, though. You got to get back to the gas if you're going to try to make any kind of time at all. That's why you get all loose and squirrely like that.
Next up is Tony Raines, former star of the ASA Series and the NASCAR Busch Series, trying to make his first start in 2010. He has 9 Cup starts here, 15 in what's now the Nationwide Series, and 2 truck races. Little Joe's Auto Sales Toyota.
You know how you know these cars are sticking to the racetrack pretty darn good? You don't see many of them sideways. I mean, you see them wiggle, you see them move, but you don't see anybody go off in the corner and just absolutely spin out, you know?
21.93. Raines has got to go. You see that green line, that's where Joe Nemechek is. That is not where Raines needs to go to make the race, but to lock in. That is the lock-in point right there where Joe Nemechek is, and what it means is Tony Raines 21.78 will lock in Joe Nemechek, who is 11th.
Now here's what's amazing. Darrell and I talked so much about how many guys we have in the 40s and 50s, but when you look at our go or go homers, aside from Joe Nemechek, every one of those guys are in the 70s.
21.73, 21.73, 76, 78, just hundreds.
Very close.
Hundreds away from making hundreds.
Georgia's Reed Sorenson started 5th here in 2008 in this race. Finished 12th. He also has 3 top 10s in the Nationwide Series. He's trying to make his 2nd race of 2010 for Braun Racing.
I think he was bad fast in qualifying for the Nationwide race.
2nd, outside pole.
Yeah, outside pole, I believe he is.
Yep.
He was 4th of the go or go home cars in practice earlier today. You can see all the shade that's starting to really get down in turn 3 and 4, and that just gains grip.
So now 36th where the green line is. That is the lock-in point, and Sorenson's in. He beats David Stremme. So with a 21.67, he will race tomorrow night.
We're in right now.
And the bottom 3 are Stremme, Cook, and Raines.
So now, as important as qualifying is here, you heard the crew chief tell him 67 we're in. The message there is go ahead and run this 2nd lap, but don't bust your tail doing it.
Well, he picks up to a 63, and that moves him up the board to 33rd.
Yeah, that's just a little bit better pit selection, and you know, makes you feel better too. Plus, you know, the driver can breathe on that 2nd lap.
6 drivers to go. 3 drivers will go home in knockout qualifying. Mike Bliss on the speedway. This is his 7th trip to Richmond in the Cup car. Talladega was his first top 10 finish in the Cup Series since 2005, driving the 09 for James Finch.
He's in.
Whoa!
He's in, though. That first lap locked.
Don't wreck it, man. You're in.
There you go. There you go.
2166, 35th overall. And Bliss is in. And the bottom three remain: Cook, Rains, and Pappas.
They got loose that second lap into 3.
He will race tomorrow night.
Now, David Gilliland is next. We've talked about how he is just too far.
Well, I tell you one reason Kyle Busch is watching that scoreboard. This car right here, Dave Blaney, we know it, especially at a short track. He has a way of reaching down in that barrel and finding a lot more than you think he can find.
Yeah, he was third at Bristol, and that got a lot of people's attention.
He has a second row start here. Back driving the 77 in 2002. This is his 20th trip to Bristol. We'll see what this Prism Motorsports Camry can do as it broadslides off the corner.
Not good at all on his first lap.
He has to beat 2175.
The lock up in that left front, getting into 3. So he's driving hard, Larry. Loose in. Little brake smoke getting in the corner.
Not enough. 2193, lap 1, not quick enough.
Should be a much better second lap. He'll tighten her up.
Didn't get off turn 2 very well. That hurt him all the way down, even though that's a short back straightaway. He locks the left front up, getting in the corner both times in turn 3.
This could be good news for Terry Cook.
I think it is.
And it is. Cook is in at 2175. Blaney goes home with a 2184. He is the first driver knocked out.
And that is a huge surprise, because normally Dave Blaney finds enough to get in the show. A lot of times jump up there in the top 5 or 10.
Out of the race yet. He is on the bubble right now with a 2183. Blaney was slower, so Pappas has a little bit of breathing room. The bottom two, Tony Raines and Max Pappas, with Michael McDowell and Casey Mears to go. McDowell's 3 starts at this track: 29th, 38th, 41st, as he tries to make his 8th race of 2010.
And he was the slowest of the go-homers in that final practice session. His teammate Dave Blaney, we know, is already out of the show for tomorrow night.
That's not a good lap.
McDowell has to beat 2178. The first lap will not do it. It's over 22 seconds.
You see National Day of Prayer on the hood of the car. That's one of their sponsors for this weekend. Love to see that car get in the race.
Darrell, I don't know that this is even.
Yeah, it's not close.
He needs 3/10.
Not close.
And McDowell is in the bottom 2. Max Pappas goes home. You see Pappas on the left of the screen. His 2183 falls short. McDowell is a 2180. That locks Tony Raines into the race.
From a 22.28, Larry, to a 21.80. That's sucking it up right there.
Well, the crew chief told him down the backstretch, got to have some more. Got to go or go home.
Got to wait on this one.
And now we're down to the final car, and it's Michael McDowell or Casey Mears. He was in the show at Bristol.
How unpredictable is qualifying? I don't care who's out there on the racetrack. You see Kyle Busch, he knows it ain't over till it's over, because anybody can pull a surprise.
2180 is the time to beat. And Mears looks like he is going to handily be in the field in lap 1. He's in. 31st for Casey Mears with a 2158. And that means that both Prism Motorsports cars, McDowell and Blaney, and Max Pappas will be the cars that head home. And look at Mears on lap 2. He was up to the top 10 going into the corner. And he's going to end up top 15 for Baldwin, 13th for Casey Mears with a 2145.
That is a very
great
job.
run for them.
Excellent.
Casey Mears needed that. Tommy Baldwin Racing needed that.
Definitely.
Kyle Busch and Dave